Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. Every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
Yes, good afternoon and welcome in. My name is Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. No, I'm not Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. Yes, I am on the Odyssey app. Yes, I'm on the iHeart app. Yes, I'm on YouTube, where I'm watching myself right now. It's really awkward. Just go to YouTube, put in @TheFanMilwaukee. You do need the @ sign to make that work. We are here for you. And yes, I'm watching Brian Gutekunst on mute as he is at the podium for his 2:00 press conference. Man, I love how the Packers are always on time. Man, the Packers are, like they say that Goody's at 9:20 and LaFleur's at 9:50. Man, Goody is at 9:20 and LaFleur is at 9:50. And it is every single time. Charlie Usen is here as well. What's up, Charles?
LaFleur is the latest person on the face of the earth. Every time it's after like 9:20, he shows up like 30 minutes later. Every single time. He's the worst. Like Goody sometimes shows up on time occasionally, but like Matt LaFleur never shows up on time.
In season, they never show up, but today they are there. They are doing a good job. We've got all sorts of great stuff for you today on Wisconsin Sports Daily. But first and foremost, we are at Stenny's. That's right, Stenny's on 2nd and National. I know Sparky yesterday was at Stenny's way out in Lake Country, but today we are here on 2nd and National because we've got a bus, it's not really my bus. They have a bus that goes to all the Brewers games. So you should be coming here before the Brewers game. You should get yourself a pint of your favorite beverage. You should get yourself some wings or some fries, some burgers. Stenny has great food, and you should make it happen. But remember, baseball also calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea, real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink with no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. Plus, each Sun Cruiser is only 100 calories. That's not bad. 4.5% alcohol. So it's perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Crack one open today. Let the good times cruise, Milwaukee. Please drink responsibly. You can grab those here at Stenny's as well. And so we're going to talk some Brewers today, and we're going to talk some Packers today because that's what is on everybody's mind. Charlie, whenever there's breaking news or about to be breaking news, I come to you like every 4 minutes. And so I'm going to start that right now. Charlie, is Micah Parsons a member of the Green Bay Packers?
Not yet. He is not a part of the Green Bay Packers yet, but the Packers did sign linebacker Nick Niemann to their 53-man roster and have yet to make a corresponding move. So I will keep you updated on that.
Got it. We have Nick Niemann. Nick Niemann, who was a 6th-round pick by the San Diego Chargers. I think it was San Diego still in 2021. Yep. He led the Chargers in special teams tackles in 21, 23, and 24. He is a linebacker. He signed a 2-year, $6 million deal with the Texans during the offseason, $4 million guaranteed. So the Texans are still on the hook for that. And at this point, the Texans released him. And Bill Huber and Matt Schneidman reporting that Nick Niemann, linebacker, will be signed, a special teams maven contributor to the Green Bay Packers. I think that means they have 54 players right now on their roster, which is illegal. So we assume that at any moment we will get the corresponding email that they have released someone, or I don't know at this point, can you just release and immediately put them on the practice squad? I think they still have to go through waivers.
I think so. Yeah, I think based on what I'm seeing and hearing from some of these other guys, like Sean Clifford made the decision not to come back to the Packers. Apparently he was the one cold shouldering Green Bay in this situation.
I think Kalen King also felt the same way. He did not want to come back, look for other opportunities as he continued to not make the team. So Sean Clifford makes that decision, and Mr. Al Gersma also not going to be a member of the Green Bay Packers because in addition to Nick Niemann, the Green Bay Packers have signed Clayton Tune, quarterback, to their practice squad. out of the University of Houston. He was a 5th-round pick by the Cardinals in 2023. He actually did play, not a lot, but he did play a little bit in the NFL over the past couple of years. So he is going to be the practice squad quarterback. I'm reading on Twitter as our friend Andy Herman NFL is tweeting, and Bill Huber as well, that Brian Gutekunst wouldn't divulge who was released to sign Nick Niemann. I mean, what? Like, isn't that weird?
That's so weird.
Isn't that weird that you release a guy, you sign a guy, someone has to be released. Like, it's physically impossible for an NFL roster to have 54. You have to have 53. Those are the rules in the NFL. And that Brian Goody, now all that means really is that the Nick Niemann signing isn't official. The press release hasn't gone out, whether it's terms or whether he hasn't agreed to whatever it is. It's not official, because once it becomes official, the Packers then immediately need to release. So whether it's Gutekunst not divulging that information, or maybe they haven't even decided it yet. Maybe they don't even know exactly who they're releasing until other pieces fall into place. Because, yes, if they traded for Micah Parsons, they would need to open up a roster spot for him, especially if they're just trading draft picks for him. We don't know if that would be draft picks. We don't know if that would be a player, couple players, and obviously it would be draft picks. We know that. It'd be 2 number ones. And from everything we're hearing nationally, the Cowboys are not ready to make a deal. Whether it's the Packers or the 30 other teams that may be calling the Dallas Cowboys about Micah Parsons, that the Dallas Cowboys themselves are not ready to make a deal with Micah Parsons. So we can wait on that. I know good friend of show Mike Wickett tweeted out about half an hour ago that he's going to take a 2-hour nap. And when he wakes up, he hopes to hear news. Mike, I know you got a lot of little kids at home. You need that nap. There's not going to be any news. There's not going to, that is, what is that news that we will hear probably next week sometime. If, I think that the Cowboys, and especially Schottenheimer, the coach, Jerry Jones is just, clueless. So he has no idea. But I think Brian Schottenheimer still thinks that they can get Micah Parsons into shape and on the team. And, so we'll see about that. We are live today, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. We're live at Stenny's on 2nd and National. We got some We Energies folks doing some good work on the corner. We're watching that happen. We've got some great folks at the bar, some with drinks, some with food. I saw a gentleman earlier with a platter of their chicken tenders. Man, I am a sucker for chicken tenders. Charlie, I don't know if we've talked about this. I've definitely talked about it with Tommy, that there was one year that I went to Vegas with like a bunch of my buddies, and every casino we went to, I went directly to the cafe and I ordered the chicken tenders platter, like just chicken tenders and fries. And then I did I think before blogging was cool, like it was just starting, because this is, of course, a couple hundred years ago.
1882, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I did like a blog and ranked all the chicken tenders. I think Aladdin, I'm not even sure Aladdin exists anymore as a casino, but Aladdin with kind of like a Persian theme, the chicken fingers there were the best. Like Aladdin was the best. So 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. 414-677-1250. You can tweet into the show at the Fan Milwaukee, at Thunder MKE. If you want to get involved, we are starting things now with the Green Bay Packers, but obviously we're going to talk about Jacob Mizorowski. We're going to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers as well. At 2:40 today, we've got a special guest, Anne-Marie Moss. She's the executive director of the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation. They do that big golf outing every June. Mason was the chair of it for like 10 years or something. He was inducted into their Hall of Fame or their Walk of Honor or whatever it was. There was a big dinner for him in March that Tommy and I got to attend to. Sorry, Charlie. Tommy and I and Jason over, our fearless leader in Thailand. He got to be there as well. But the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation also does, they do these really cool back-to-back dinners in November. and the tickets I know are on a discount until September 1st. So I wanted to get Anne-Marie Moss on at 2:40 to talk to us about that. We've got, of course, Charlie Sounds of the Day. We've got our green and gold update. We've got things you missed, all the cool opportunities for you to jump in on the show and be a part of it here. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. You can also comment on YouTube like our friend Anton has. He says, Milwaukee, hey boys, welcome to the dugout, Mitch.
Yeah, you missed that.
Yeah.
That's
so so that is the name. Is that all shows? Is that Wisconsin? Is that Sparky only? Is that Wisconsin Sports Daily only? How does that work, Charlie?
So far, I've only heard it be called that on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Our guy Anton and our other guy Mark are on our chat all the time, commenting, giving us great takes. So they named it the dugout. I think we've just kind of stuck with it for this show, but we can branch it out a little bit if you want to bring it onto your shows too. I think it's a good name.
I agree. I did post a comment, I think, in the dugout yesterday, but with so many moving parts, it kind of got lost in the shuffle. But I just wrote back, thank you, Anton. Love being in the dugout. So if you want to post a comment in the dugout, that is on our YouTube page. We are live right now at The Fan Milwaukee. 414-677-1250 is the phone number. And we're watching, the news of what Brian Gutekunst is talking right now. Goody is hopeful that Jaden Reed and Nate Hobbs will be ready for week one. So let's start right there, that he's hopeful. Andy Herman tweeting that at Andy Herman NFL. If you don't follow him, you are not living your life correctly. So I don't know. I don't really know how to take the word hopeful. And I'm going to write down Jaden Reed and Nate Hobbs. I'm not hopeful Nate Hobbs plays. I need Nate Hobbs to play. Like I need him out there week one against Detroit, against Amon-Ra St. Brown, against Jamison Williams, I actually love Jamison Williams. I think he's one of the best number twos in all of pro football. I think those wide receivers are really, really good. Obviously, we know St. Brown is really good. Jamison Williams also really good. We as Packers fans, the Green Bay Packers, need Nate Hobbs on that field. And I know he had the knee cleanup, and I know he got into a little trouble for going a little too hard during training camp. But when you look at that cornerback room, when you look at Keyshawn Nixon, and then I guess if they could somehow channel the Milwaukee Brewers island of misfit toys, that'd be amazing if that cornerback room could do that. But I worry about the cornerback room. I don't love the cornerback room for our Green Bay Packers. This is going to sound weird to say. I want Nate Hobbs out week one, and then he can take week two off. I can see that. Don't play, right? Because it's a quick turnaround to Thursday night. Your body's not fully 100%, but we need you week one. We need you out there, Nate. That's what Matt LaFleur, that's what I'm telling him. We need you out there. For sure. That's what we need. And then the other one, hopeful that Jaden Reed's out there. So if you didn't see the news today and you saw it yesterday, McCole Hardman was released in the round of releases by the Green Bay Packers yesterday. But then he was signed back to the practice squad today, which sounds a little weird because usually when you think about the practice squad, it's the young guys. It's the first guy, second guy, maybe a third guy, but guys who provide depth, but are still learning and you hope develop and progress into something. And I think that with McCole Hardman, it's like he's a veteran. Like, go catch on with somebody else. Like you could probably catch on with somebody else. I assume that whether it was Brian Gutekunst or Matt LaFleur, that they talked to McCole Hardman and they said, we don't think Reed and Wicks are going to be ready for week one. We think one of them might be ready. We're not sure. We hope they're both ready. We're not sure. But we have an inkling that Reed or Wicks will not be ready for week one, which means stay here, stay in Green Bay. We're going to sign you to the practice squad. And then for week one, we're going to elevate you. And McCole Hardman, as a vested veteran in the NFL, if he is on an active roster week one, his full contract is guaranteed for the year. So whatever he signed for $2 million or 1.4 or 1. I don't even know what McCall Hardman. It was a very small contract, but as opposed to being a practice squad guy, if he's on the team in week 1, his contract is guaranteed. And if I'm McCall Hardman, I'm like, done. Say less. Like I'm here. Like I just saw Reed and I just saw Wicks and they're banged up, and we all know Dobbs and his concussion situation. And so you got Golden, and then you got a bunch of guys who should be really good, but maybe aren't really good and maybe aren't healthy, and what's going on. So I am, can I predict? I'm going to predict right now, McCall Hardman will be on the 53-man for week 1.
And I don't think that's a bad prediction.
No, I'm not going out on a limb there, Charlie. Like that's really. It was kind of a low-hanging fruit. It's not. He's on the practice squad, so it's a little bit of a risk, but I would predict that he would be on that roster.
Probably. And I think when you're talking about a guy like McCall Hardman, you mentioned it before. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs, every time McCall Hardman has been released, he just goes back to the Chiefs. They always bring him back. They're going to be missing Rashee Rice, it looks like, for the first 6 weeks of the season now.
Yeah,
after
6
all this,
weeks.
That's going down with him. I think that would have been a very easy spot for him to go slide into, but he chose not to. And I think being on this Packers team and seeing what he was able to do in practice, and I know during the preseason games, he was not very exciting. It was kind of hard to watch him in preseason this so far. But from the camps and what the reporters and beat writers were telling us is that he was making some really phenomenal plays, and that him and Jordan Love seemed to have some kind of connection that he wasn't building as quickly with some of these other younger wide receivers. But at the same time, I also wouldn't be surprised if a guy like Will Shepherd maybe got a chance as a 6th wide receiver just on this team going into that, and they just bump Malik Heath up and give one of these rookie wide receivers or one of these second-year wide receivers that they also still have in their practice squad a shot too, because a guy like Isaiah Nair is another name that got re-signed to the practice squad today, and he could very easily come in and make plays because he did that in game, not like what McCall Hardman did, who just did it in practice.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a great point to see what those guys can do. Brian Gutekunst also intimated that Hobbs and Reed are trending to be available for week 1. It's certainly not set in stone, but that they're trending toward being ready for week 1. Both have been out multiple weeks with injuries. It does not sound like there was an update on Dontavian Wicks. So don't know what's going on there with Wicks, but that is what's going on with the other two. Matt Schneidman tweeting that out as well. Brian Gutekunst, you know what? We'll save this for the next segment, but he did share some thoughts on Micah Parsons, so we will get to that in the next segment.
Kind of.
He did talk about Darian Kennard. He's the offensive tackle that the Packers just traded for from Philadelphia, saying he got tremendously better in his time in Philadelphia. And so that's another offensive lineman that I think can be in the mix. That's somebody that I think should make us feel good. That should make us feel, we don't know about Hobbs. We don't know about Reed, and we don't know about Wicks. And I know we just put the question up on our fan Twitter page. That's at the Fan Milwaukee with Reed and with Hobbs, kind of questionable. We're not sure what the deal is with them. Will they be like? How does that make you feel, Packers fans? That we think they're going to be there, but we're not sure they're going to be there. Does that give you, where's your confidence level? And I think it's okay to say I'm much more worried about Hobbs because and Hobbs, again, if you look at Hobbs' career, Hobbs doesn't play 17 games. Hobbs plays 14. Hobbs plays 12. Hobbs doesn't play 17 anyway. So I'm worried in general about that. But they need Hobbs out there. So if he's trending toward week 1, man, you got him out there. I'd rather he play week 1 than week 2 with that quick turnaround. And they might say, he's not ready for week 1, but he'll be ready for week 2. And fine. All right. So he plays against the Commanders on Thursday night. That happens. But I'd rather see him in that week 1 because they're going to need all the help they can get against the Detroit Lions. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. That is our Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. And if you want to chime in, you can. I know people are chiming in in the dugout. That is on our YouTube page, as they should be. If you're looking for a fun new location to host your fantasy football draft, you got to check out the Potawatomi Sportsbook. 6,500 square feet, 2 levels highlighted by a 2,000 square foot screen that can have up to 30 sports events on it at one time. Your league will get the private elevator passes. I've been to the second level. Charlie, you been to the second level?
I have not been to the second level. I only got the courtesy of going first level.
We got to get you to that second level. You can have your fantasy football draft in it's a private room with screens all over it. It's very cool. You get a smorgasbord of food, 3 drink tickets per team, up to 14 team leagues only. So 3 drink tickets per team. If you own the team by yourself, that means you get 3 drink tickets. Plus, you get the draft board, you get the stickers, you get the podium. Go to Potawatomi.com/sportsbook to reserve your day and time today. Very, very cool opportunity for your fantasy football draft. More news and notes from Brian Gutekunst, more Micah Parsons thoughts coming up, and we will get to some thoughts about Jacob Mizorowski in this hour, and if not in this hour, at the top of the 3 o'clock. You're listening to Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. We are at Stenny's on 2nd and National. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on The Fan, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM. Our studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Today we are at Stenny's on 2nd, where the food is fantastic. And today's Wednesday. Charlie, can you confirm that today's Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday, yes, as far as
so that means their mac and cheese menu on Wednesdays. They've got the OG mac, they've got buffalo chicken, they've got the mobster with marinara and mushrooms and Italian sausage, chili mac, bacon cheeseburger mac, Millie cheesesteak, so cheesesteak mac and cheese, jalapeno popper mac and cheese, and flaming hot Cheeto mac and cheese. Charlie, if you had to pick one of those mac and cheeses, which are you picking?
I think it's going to be a tough choice between the Millie cheesesteak. That one sounds really good. And then jalapeno popper, I'm going to assume has cream cheese in it. And cream cheese is like my favorite topping for
It's
anything.
A mixture of cream cheese, sour cream, and chipotle sauce mixed with cheddar, bacon pieces, and diced jalapenos.
I think I'm going with the jalapeno popper one then.
Ooh,
I might have
okay.
to switch. Yep.
Nice. I'll let you have that. I actually will probably go with the Millie cheesesteak because I'm a big fan. I do like buffalo chicken. I'm a big fan of buffalo chicken, mac and cheese as well. But Millie cheesesteak, man, that sounds really, really good. So that's what we got going on here at Stenny's. What do you have going on? Let us know. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250 as Brian Gutekunst winding things up. He's still talking. Man, this is a good let's see.
He's finished up. We're waiting for Matt
done.
LaFleur coming.
All right, so what am I looking at here? Packers. I'm on. It says live. Oh, now I clicked live, and let's see what happens. Anyway, I thought we're waiting for LaFleur. LaFleur's talking next. Brian Gutekunst is done. He was asked. This is always interesting. He was asked about Micah Parsons, and the rule in sports media is you generally don't ask about other players. You usually don't ask about rumors because the guy you can't say anything anyway. Like Brian Gutekunst, I think, is like legally bound to not say anything about Micah Parsons, like, because that's tampering or whatever it is. So he was asked about Micah Parsons, and this is what he said. He said he won't talk about a player on another team. He says, every opportunity that's out there that if we think it could help the Packers, we're going to take a long look at it. If that opportunity makes sense to us, we'll do it. If it doesn't, we don't. That sounds to me like he's kicking the tires. That he thinks that this could be an opportunity that makes sense to the Green Bay Packers. Now, we can all say, right? We can all be dumb and say, well, obviously Micah Parsons helps the Packers. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about, does the cost of doing business here, does the return make sense on your investment if you're trading two number ones and a number two, or they just got this Nick Neiman, this special teams contributor. They signed him today as a linebacker. So does that mean Quay Walker is in play? Is it two number ones and Quay Walker? Don't know what that means in terms of how Brian Gutekunst is kicking those tires. But I think by him saying every opportunity that's out there, that if we think it could help the Packers, we're going to take a long look at it. He didn't say we're going to take a look at it, Charlie. He said we're going to take a long look at if that opportunity makes sense to us, we'll do it. If it doesn't, we won't. Listen, today, I think we can all say none of us expect Micah Parsons to end up on the Green Bay Packers. Like, that's just like fairy tales and gumdrops and rainbows. Well, it's not even raindrops and rainbows and gumdrops, because those do exist. But it's fairy tales and princess stories and unicorns and Pegasi, all the things that don't exist. But a long look sure sounds like, you know what? I want my GM to take a long look at Micah Parsons. Whether it ends up happening or not, I feel comfortable that he made that answer, Charlie.
Definitely. And I think that when I listen to Brian Gutekunst, he always seems very safe to not give you too much. No matter what the subject is, he always is going to give you as much as he's willing to give you, and it's never going to be little hints or anything like that. And that's
his job.
What he says. Yeah.
That's his job,
but there's
right?
some GMs who don't do that. Sometimes they do like to give you little sneak peeks or try to hint at things. I think more often than not, that ends in people getting mad at the team or at that GM.
The GM.
And I think Brian Gutekunst is just doing what he can to keep his job. And I think part of keeping his job is also kicking the tires on a trade possibility for a guy like Micah Parsons at this point. We keep saying Quay Walker's name in this, and I think his name makes the most sense if you're going to move a player alongside this, because he doesn't have that new contract. He's going to be a free agent coming up here. I think looking at a potential trade here, would your mind change if it was maybe like one first and then maybe a couple other later round picks and Edge Cooper instead of a Quay Walker, if that's a player that the Cowboys would rather have?
I assume it would be a player they'd rather have.
Well, yes.
I don't think I'm making that deal. I don't think whatever the value is between Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper, I don't think I'm substituting that in a deal for Micah Parsons. I don't know, though. Now I'm thinking about it, though, Charlie.
Jeff Hafley likes his Quay Walker. Matt LaFleur likes his Quay Walker. They give him lots of opportunities.
I know. And Quay Walker might look a lot better next to Micah Parsons, or with Micah Parsons on the field. I just salivate over Edgerrin Cooper and Micah Parsons on the field together. You know what? I got to think about that. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. If you had to give up Edgerrin Cooper, would that be worth getting Micah Parsons? And like, we're getting into this whole segment about Micah Parsons. And man, it's actually, this is the stuff I don't love getting into. Like, I almost want to extricate myself out of this discussion. Because I don't love, I don't love the rumors and the like getting people's hopes up, and then people like like you said, like then people get mad. Some news out of Packerland: Kalen King signs with the Carolina Panthers. He was not able to make the roster. But some bigger news from Matt LaFleur, who just stepped up to the podium. Jordan Love will be a full participant at practice today. Jordan Love will be a full practice. And I'm looking up, when was he had surgery on his non-throwing hand on August 12th. So he is 15 days. I'm writing that down just so 15 days out of surgery to repair a torn ligament in his left thumb. That's his non-throwing hand. He suffered that in the first preseason game against the Jets. He was sacked. He hit his thumb on a helmet. The surgery was successful. He returned to practice pretty immediately, but didn't go through all the things. He is now cleared and expected to be a full participant. I think that's pretty significant. I think that's exciting. To me, that's exciting Packers news. The Micah Parsons stuff is fun, but I'm excited that Jordan Love is going to be, because that means we're talking 10 days away. Hold on, 28, 29, 30, 31. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 days away. We are talking 11 days away from opening Sunday against the Detroit Lions, and they're not saving it for 3 days before. They're not saving it for 5 days before. He is out there 11 days before when they need him out there to be Jordan Love. So I'm excited. I'm that we talked about in the first segment. Jaden Reed trending, not ready yet. Nate Hobbs trending, not ready yet. We didn't even get a Dontavian Wicks update. But a Jordan Love update right away that he is going to be a full participant when practice starts today at 3:10. I'm excited for that. He will be able to take snaps, and that Matt LaFleur said these are important snaps for him to be taking, and so he will be. He will be ready to roll, and that's what the Packers need. They need Jordan Love healthy. They need Jordan Love ready to roll, and that's that. Beyond all the other things we're talking about, yes, Micah Parsons makes a difference, but if Jordan Love is healthy and ready to roll, and we're 15 days away out of surgery, we're 11 days till opening day. To me, having your starting quarterback ready is the most important position in all of professional sports. And if he's ready and healthy, that sets the Packers up for success this season.
Definitely. I think that when I'm looking at week one here against an NFC North rival, a team that's won the division the past year, and you feel like is a team that you can definitely usurp because they lost their coordinators, because they're going to be looking a little bit different. Do you think if they were playing maybe, I don't know, exact extreme opposites, the Browns, or even if Washington and Detroit were flipped, does Jordan Love still play in this game?
That's a good question. I think so. Listen, if he's ready to fully practice 11 days out, I think they feel pretty confident that he's ready to roll. Now, I guess the only thing I'd say is if they were playing somebody else, like if they were playing Cleveland and then they were turning around and playing Thursday, which is a great point. Then maybe you. But I don't like playing with that sort of stuff, Charlie. I don't like playing the injury games. I don't like messing with the football gods. You do that when he's physically ready to play. and he doesn't play, I don't like messing with the football gods like that. That scares me a little bit more than, yeah, you know what? He's 15 days today. He'll be 26 days out of surgery 11 days from now. It's not great. Like, obviously wish he never had surgery. We wish all of our football heroes didn't have surgery, right? But I think I think that knowing that he's healthy, I think it's ready. I think he's ready to roll, and he would play regardless of who the opponent is. It just happens to be the Detroit Lions, so it's a little more important. It's a little more exciting. There's a little more riding on that, and not just riding on that, but Anton writes in on the dugout, and I think this is a great question. What's your thoughts on how the Packers will do this season? My main concern is winning within the division. 1-5 will not cut it again this year. And that leads exactly into the conversation we're already having. You start week 1 with Detroit. That's a huge deal. That's a huge game. That's a big, you don't have a bigger matchup. Detroit, correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie, but I believe Detroit won the division last year.
You are correct.
They did win it. Okay. I just want to make sure. And correct me if I'm wrong again, but the Packers think that they can compete for the divisional championship this year.
I would say you're pretty correct on that.
Okay. So with those two things set in stone, I have a stone etching station here at Stenny's on 2nd, where we are today. I just carved that in. With that etched in stone, week 1's a huge deal. Like, I'm not going to downplay this matchup. I'm not going to say, oh, it's just week 1. Oh, it's not that big a deal. Oh, yes. If they lose this game, they have plenty of time for the season to be fine. Absolutely. They have plenty of time to win the division. But, man, everything feels a million times better if they win this game at home against the defending division champion Detroit Lions. No doubt about that in my mind. I just think it's one of those things that the Packers have to, and I know they will be absolutely focused on that. But we'll see how that all comes out. Man, it's still really weird that the Packers have made the decision to bring in Nick Nyman, but would not divulge who's being released. Again, I think there's still moving parts. I think that's part of it. Whether other players are coming in or some other players are being let go, I think that it's still in flux. I think there's a chance that even Brian Goody, he knows that if everything stays the same right now, this is who we're releasing. But I think he also knows that things could change. Things could be drastically different within a day or two, or whenever the official announcement is made that Nick Nyman has signed with the Green Bay Packers. Matt LaFleur is done talking, and again, we'll get some more information from him. But the biggest takeaway there is that Jordan Love is practicing today. Practice starts at 3:10, and so they'll have that. We'll get all sorts. And practices now are not fully open to the media anymore, like they were in training camp. Like, there's portions that are open, but not all of them are open. Coming up next on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, we've got Anne-Marie Moss joining us. She's the executive director of the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation. They've got their huge dinners coming up in November. She's going to give us a little rundown of what's going on there and what we can, what we can look forward to and be how we can be a part of that. Charlie, have you had the meal of misfortune yet?
Not yet. It's one that I've been waiting for a good, just night out where I can go and get it. And that was my first plan.
Like a night out, like on your way home after a night out, or on your way to a night out, or as part of your night out?
As part of the night out, I don't get too many nights out. So that's when I want to spend a special night of misfortune,
The meal of misfortune, which is devised by Wednesday Addams. And if you're not watching Wednesday on Netflix, you should be. It's available now at Wendy's, where you must surrender to your fate. It comes with rest in 10-piece nugs, small cursed crispy fries, and a small Raven's Blood Frosty. And of course, 204 mystery dips of dread to up the torment. You don't even know what dip you're getting, and you're getting it. In Wednesday's words, it's pure torture and tribute to the suffering that awaits us all from the dips of dread. And the best part is you never know what you'll get. Each uniquely insufferable dip is insufferable in its own torturous way. It's got to be Wendy's. So watch Wednesday season 2 only on Netflix, available for a limited time at participating U.S. Wendy's while supplies last. I've not had it yet either, but it's definitely on my radar. I don't necessarily want the spicy though, so I got to figure out, like, I need to go with somebody else who like loves the spicy, and then I can share it with them while I get my like.
Are you a wimp or something?
Yeah, I am.
Come on, it can't be that.
Actually, that's not true. I love spicy.
Okay.
I just like sweat comes pouring down my face when I do spicy.
That's how you know it's good spicy.
You're not wrong. I actually agree with that. Anne Marie Moss, Executive Director of Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation, will join us next here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. We are at Stenny's on 2nd and National. Come on. Like, if you're from Milwaukee, you know where Stenny's is. Like, I know they have a new one in Lake Country, but this is the one. So remember, baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. So let the good times cruise. Get your Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea when you come to Stenny's, and get the bus to the van, whatever it is, to Amfam Field and the Brewers game tonight, Brewers and Diamondbacks at 6:40. Tommy will be live with the leadoff show here at Stenny's from 5 to 6:30, where it's going to be packed with everybody getting their shuttle to the Brewers game. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. Free on the Odyssey app, free on the iHeart app, free on YouTube. You can watch us right now on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. Use that @ sign at The Fan Milwaukee. We are on YouTube. I can see myself. I don't know, I'm a little red. I got a little sun the other day, and I feel like my nose is still a little red. Might have to put some lotion on that.
It'll turn into a tan.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. That's right. Joining us now on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Remember, we're live at Stenny's on 2nd and National as we await the leadoff show and the Brewers game and all the shuttles and all the good ways to get to the Brewers games. Joining us now from the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation, Executive Director Anne-Marie Moss. Anne-Marie, thanks for jumping on this afternoon.
Oh, Mitch, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. So we were talking, everybody knows that I was gone for about 10 days, and I actually posted on Facebook about some travel craziness I had yesterday, and I'll tell that story later on in the show. But before I left, we had a chance to talk, and you were telling me all about the food and wine stuff coming up in November. And, it's always been on my radar, whether it's the tasting gala, or the celebrity chef and wine dinner or whatever it might be. We mentioned a bunch of people we know in common and a bunch of people who've worked on the board at the Lombardi Foundation. And then I was like, why don't we just talk about it on the radio and let everybody know about all the cool stuff that you guys have going on at the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation. So the food and wine events coming up in November 7th at the Pfister, November 8th at the Wisconsin Club. Friday is the now. Do you say gala or gala? Because I know people go both ways on that.
I'm a gala pronunciation.
You're a gala okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm good with that. I know. I don't know what the background is on the different pronunciations, but I've definitely heard it both ways. So the tasting gala is Friday at the Pfister. Then the celebrity chef and wine dinner is Saturday night at the Wisconsin Club. Tell us a little bit about how. We all know about the golf outing, right? Everybody knows about the golf outing. And our very good friend, Mason Crosby, has chaired it numerous times and been involved. How did you go from, all right, so we do this golf outing every year, to then like getting into high-end food and wine and all this other fun stuff that you got going on?
Mitch, I think something that's super special about the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation is it truly is groups of volunteers who really want to make an impact and support cancer research and treatment. So the infamous or famous Lombardi Golf Classic was started by a group of volunteers with that intention. And then our food and wine event was started by a different group of volunteers who all were really involved in the hospitality industry and wanted to leverage their connections to create an event that they could invite the community to come support our mission, the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation, funding cancer research and treatment programs. Hence, the event was born 22 years ago, and we're just so thrilled to bring it back in 2025.
Nice. I love that. And I love that it's the volunteers who come up with an idea and somebody figures out how to execute it. And as the executive director, I'm sure you have your hands in it. I hope that that it's not where people have ideas and then you have to do everything. I know that you have a very good,
wonderful.
Yep. I know that you have a great board of people who work very hard to make these events a success. So let's start with Friday night and the tasting gala. And what does that look like at the Pfister? What's the vibe? How many different foods can I taste at the tasting gala?
The important question there, yes.
Yep.
We are so thrilled to welcome around 50 different food and beverage vendors.
Wow.
So it's primarily wine, but we do have distilleries. We'll have some craft breweries represented. Restaurants who are confirmed so far include Maxie's, Blues Egg, Story Hill BKC.
Yep.
It includes the Bridgewater Grill. We are excited to welcome Lush Popcorn and Noble Catering and Events hosting tables.
Nice.
So people, it's a fun night out. People like to get dressed up. They come to the Pfister. It's 3 hours of it's an informal social tasting event where you go throughout the entire 7th floor of the Pfister. Both ballrooms are full of tasting stations.
Love it.
There's live music to entertain us as we're eating. The event is presented by Lexus. So it's just a really classy kind of high-end feel. Something that's real special for this year is we've introduced a VIP ticket for the public where they can, where anyone with a VIP ticket can enjoy our Lexus VIP lounge with elevated stations by Amalinda. Chef Gregory Leon at Amalinda will be in the VIP lounge.
Oh, that's
and
so
then
cool.
Maybe and of interest to our listeners in particular today, the Three Fat Guys Winery is going to be in the VIP lounge.
Oh, Mason's buddies. Yep,
yes,
we do know the 3 fat guys on the air.
Fabulous, yeah.
Yep, and we've had their wine and nice.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is really exciting that they are going to have an opportunity to share their wine, because I know, if you go out to California and you can do all that, like that's great for the fancy people. But the fact that they're bringing their wine to everybody here in Milwaukee, I think that's tremendous. Love that.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to see them. They're wonderful supporters and partners with the foundation. And then they'll stick around because VIP guests also have access to our new Afterglow Lounge, which is an additional 90 minutes following the event where people can enjoy a dessert-themed tasting stations and some after-dinner drinks with a DJ and cash bar to kind of keep the party going for those interested.
I love that. That is so exciting. Anne-Marie Moss, Executive Director of the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation, joining us on Wisconsin Sports Daily today. And so that's Friday night. And then you've got a whole nother night, Saturday night at the Wisconsin Club.
Yes. So the same group of volunteers really wanted to invite more Napa wineries to come to Milwaukee. And so put together this celebrity guest chef dinner. We have a chef from somewhere else in the country who puts together a 5-course meal and then travels here to prepare and present that to the guests, all paired with one winery will come and highlight their reserve wines to accompany that dinner. So it's just a beautiful, delicious night out of great food, great wine, fun wine auctions, raising money for the cause. And it's fun because you can do one night for our 2-night event, or you can do both nights with special pricing, with special ticket pricing that gives you VIP access if you want to come to both evenings and just have a delicious food and wine filled weekend.
Nice. I know you can go to lombardifoundation.org to find out all the information, lombardifoundation.org. If you really want to get specific, you can go lombardifoundation.org/food-wine. Because it is food and wine. So lombardifoundation.org/food-wine, which is where I am right now. And I'm looking at the food and wine tasting gala, which is at the Pfister Friday, November 7th. And I see that it's, $150 a ticket, $200. Remember, it's 50 different restaurants from around Wisconsin who are going to have the opportunity to taste all the different delicacies they have. But you've got a special early bird special price, $25 off a ticket. So that general goes from $150 to $125. The VIP goes from $200 to $175 if you get in before September 1st. And so that's all I wanted to get you on today, just to let everybody know that there is an early bird special. And if you know Wisconsinites, Anne-Marie, you know that Wisconsinites love a little deal, feeling a little special, getting in early and saving some cash, right?
Absolutely. We thought this would be a fun way to kind of get ready for the fall. I know that we're still in back to school time and football season starting, and we're all excited about that. It's hard to think about November. That being said, if you're a planner, you want to save some money, go to lombardifoundation.org and pick up some tickets before the prices go up on Labor Day, September 1st.
Nice. Anne-Marie Moss, Executive Director, Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation, talking about these two great opportunities, Friday, November 7th and Saturday, November 8th, and early bird pricing through September 1st or before September 1st. So get in there and check that out. lombardifoundation.org is where all the information is. Anything else you want to leave us with? Anything going on with the foundation? Any partnerships? Anything fun that you have going on right now?
Well, it is always wonderful to be able to highlight the programs that are funded through the proceeds from our food and wine event.
Sure.
So another thing you can find on our website is the mid-year report from our grant recipients with the 2024 funds that were raised. And there's just been some amazing advancements in cancer research at the Medical College of Wisconsin, one of the programs we funded. It's really inspiring to hear the stories of cancer patients and survivors that participate in some of the rehabilitation programs that are funded in part by the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation. So, this event is fun and it's delicious and we'll see the three fat guys and it'll be great. And we know that when we're buying tickets and making donations to these events, it's supporting like really critical care for our friends, family, and neighbors here in Wisconsin, as well as the research that brings all of us hope that there is going to be a cure and that research gets us closer to that. And we're all contributing to it through participating in these events like Food and Wine. So you can learn all about our grant recipients at lombardifoundation.org.
Awesome. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for taking the time with us today. Really enjoyed it. It was so fun hearing about the cool events that you have coming up and all the work that the foundation does to help, in southeastern Wisconsin and beyond. As we know how, everyone we know has been touched by someone with cancer. And so the fact that you're doing this great work to fund research is amazing. So thank you so much for coming on today. And I can't wait. Hopefully many of us will see you early November.
Yes, we're excited to see you at the Food and Wine event, Mitch. Thank you so much for spotlighting our work and for hosting me today. It's lovely to be able to share more of this with your listeners, and we hope to see everyone there in November 7th and 8th. Thanks again.
Absolutely. You bet. Cannot wait. It's lombardifoundation.org, lombardifoundation.org for more information to buy your tickets. Get them before September 1st when they go up in price. It's the early bird special, so make that happen for sure. When we come back here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, remember we're at Stenny's on 2nd and National. It is absolutely beautiful out today, and it's absolutely beautiful inside where there's wings, and there's always wings at Stenny's. I mean, come on now, let's be serious. But today's Wednesday, so it's the mac and cheese menu. Jack Pembroke, I was going to say peacock, but I said Pembroke. He had the buffalo chicken mac and cheese, which sounds delicious and looks delicious. I haven't decided what I'm going to do quite yet, but I will get there. Remember, every hour of Wisconsin Sports Daily is streamed separately on YouTube. So if you are watching on YouTube right now, the stream will end, and then you just got to click on the live button on our page, and the hour 2 will pop up for you. And when we start hour 2, we're going to dive deep into our Milwaukee Brewers because there is some breaking news. Nothing really great, nothing really happy, and some challenges that are better to happen August 27th than September 27th. Let's keep that in mind, people. Brewers talk coming up here. My name's Mitch Nelles, a.k.a. Thunder, in for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer today, tomorrow, and Friday. This is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's here on The Fan, live from Stenny's on 2nd and National.